Breaking. Ministerial nominee Balarabe faints during screening. Can you imagine? So this Balarabe that Tinubu nominated from Kaduna State as a replacement for former governor Nasir El-Rufai has just gone through screening today at the Senate. And while undergoing the screening process, just immediately he's done, he just collapsed and fainted. And that threw the entire Senate into turmoil. Can you imagine? The man is shows that either the man is excessively old for the job he's taking, or he is not healthy for the job he wants to take. Why? The question is, why is Nigerian political system filled with old and feeble men that should be at home resting? Let younger blood take up the roles with fresh brains to pilot the affairs of this country. The old men, starting from the president down, they don't want to leave the political scene. Why? Must you die in the political scene? These old men are supposed to be somewhere resting and allow younger blood, people of their children age, to take over the affairs of the country, so that the country can move forward with state of the art and the current day ideology for governance. What all these old men don't have anything to offer. They have failed the countries from year to year, and they are still wanting to remain in the political scene forever till they die. Now imagine this man now, only to stand before the Senate screening process, he just fainted. So what then does this man has to offer? Okay, if he's eventually passed and he becomes the minister for whatever portfolio they want to give to him, okay, what can he offer? What idea does he have that fits the modern day system? I don't understand this country. Nobody is happy with somebody else's ill health condition, but the fact remains that these people are too old to still be moving around the political corridor. They should go home and rest and become advisors or elder statesmen, okay? And people can consult them for experiences if need be. That is if they have the experience at all. Because we have seen that the old men have failed us and are still failing us till now. Up to the president that even has a lot of baggage in his neck to remove, and he obviously can't remove them. This is just terribly very bad. But again, let's dive into the detail. The Kaduna State Ministerial nominee Abbas Balarabe collapsed during his screening before the Senate. Balarabe had just finished his presentation to the lawmakers and collapsed while one of the Kaduna senators was praising him. Can you imagine? And following his collapse, the Senate President Godswill Akpabio started to scream, "Bring water, bring sugar, bring water and sugar, call Dr. Musa." Akpabio then immediately called for a closed door session. Exactly. He will call for a closed door session now because the thing don't pass them. It's a very terrible situation. Balarabe was nominated as a replacement for the former Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai. We know his name was conveyed in a letter read by the Senate President Godswill Akpabio at the plenary on Tuesday. Balarabe's name was read alongside Dr. Jamila Ibrahim and Ayodele Olawande as Minister of Youth and Minister of State for Youth, respectively, who were earlier nominated by the President. Can you imagine? Minister for Youth and Minister for State for Youth, Minister of State for Youth. How can you be creating two portfolios for each, or two ministers for each portfolio? That's exactly what Tinubu did. And Tinubu is telling Nigerians that it's his own way of creating jobs. You are creating jobs for people who are already satisfied with the amount of money they have garnered. But now you are not creating jobs for the youth. You are giving 8,000 naira to a household, and you are identifying 12 million poorest of the poor Nigerians to benefit from the fuel subsidy palliative, or whatever you call a poverty alleviation program. It's quite unfortunate. Let's continue with the details. Balarabe, a former secretary to the Kaduna State government, was in April appointed to lead a 65-man transition committee ahead of swearing of Obasani. Okay, so he was the governorship transition committee program. He was the head of that committee. Probably El-Rufai nominated him to head that committee, and that's why El-Rufai probably would have told Tinubu that he should use Balarabe Abbas in his place. The Senate had in August refused to confirm the nomination of El-Rufai alongside former Nexim Bank Managing Director Stella Okotete, Delta State, and Abubakar Danladi, a nominee from Taraba State. The president had earlier sent 48 nominees to the Senate, who passed 45 as ministers. Okay, so what is happening here, just a bit of the background, that Senate, earlier this year, Senate confirmed 45 out of 48 ministers that were nominated by President Tinubu. Okay, and among those three ministers that were rejected, one of them was Nasser El-Rufai, the former governor of Kaduna State. And Nasser El-Rufai actually had boasted that when he leaves the governor's office, he was not going to participate in politics again. He also boasted that he was going to go to Netherlands to go do his PhD program. Okay, unfortunately and ironically, he was still trying to perambulate around the corridors of power within the APC, also lobbying to become a minister in Tinubu's government. So he was talking from both sides of his mouth. And when there were petitions to the DSS and to everywhere that Tinubu should not be, El-Rufai should not be, confirmed by Senate because of the security risk that he poses to the country, because of his security comments that he has made, unreserved comment he has made, that is a security risk to the country. Okay, and a lot of things that were hung on him, and based on that, I think the NSA, National Security Advisor to the President, which is Nuhu Ribadu, also wrote part of that petition, and at the end of the day, he was dropped, only to see that he went to Beirut in Lebanon and stayed there and singing Bob Marley there, and they call him the new reggae master. Okay, he became the new reggae master. So at the end of the day, now he can't come back to become a minister, and we have not heard whether he has arrived in Netherlands to continue his PhD program. Now he has nominated Abbas Balarabe in his place to come and take his place as minister. Now Abbas Balarabe has come, and now just concluding his screening, while screening him, he collapsed. Meaning that it's either he's too old, he can't take the stress, or he has a medical condition that is nothing that nobody's aware of publicly. So obviously this man obviously has proven that he's not in a very healthy condition to run that ministerial portfolio. Unfortunately, though you know Nigeria now, things have exchanged hand. Much water has passed under the bridge and probably cannot flow back again. Only God knows how they'll handle this. So the collapse of Balarabe has threw the Senate session into jeopardy or into confusion, and they had to close and then enter into a closed door session again because of his health and because of his condition. Quite unfortunate. Those are the kind of leaders that we have. People that are already fabled and frayed and no longer have capacity to run again. They don't want to leave office. The same with Tinubu, that is twisting his age, twisting everything around himself to remain in power. He's saying he's within his 70s. Meanwhile, when you look at him, you know that he's almost 90 years of age, but he will not say the truth. So thank you for listening. And that was what happened during Abbas Balarabe's screening by Senate as a replacement for Nasser El-Rufai for ministerial role.